Hey y'all, I'm Tiana Michelle and welcome back to my channel. For this wash day, I'm going to be using one of my all-time favorites, Curlsmith. I'm using their newly repackaged fragrance-free line that's made specifically for people with scalp sensitivities or sensitivity to fragrances overall. I'm starting out with the fragrance-free shampoo, and any Curlsmith line you can think of, I've tried it. And one thing I love about their shampoos is that they gently cleanse the scalp without stripping your hair of its moisture. Of course, they have clarifying options if that's what you're looking for, but for this particular shampoo, it's very gentle and has a good lather. I really make sure to work the shampoo in good from my roots to my ends. This method makes the detangling process so much easier and prevents a lot of unnecessary tangling. I love that they have this fragrance-free line as an option because everyone deserves access to quality products, especially if you are unable to use products that have fragrance, because you shouldn't have to compromise the health of your scalp. I've been using their products for over 6 years, and this line is no different in terms of how good it is in comparison to the other lines. The only difference is that it has no fragrance. And while we're on the topic of a healthy scalp, look at how clean she is. I'm splitting my hair into 2 sections here before using their fragrance-free conditioner. Not only is this a rinse out conditioner that'll help your curls be juicy, it also works on frizz control. So if you're gonna do a wash and go afterwards, it definitely makes a difference in how much more defined your curls are gonna be. When I apply any conditioner, I always work in 2 to 4 sections depending on how tangled my hair is. Fortunately, my hair is not too bad here, so I was able to quickly go in those 2 sections and thoroughly detangle my hair. If y'all didn't know, I am on a length retention journey, so I've been taking my trims very seriously. I trim 4 times a year, and I do monthly dusting where I go in and make sure that there are no splits. Even if there's little baby splits, I go ahead and trim those off, and I've noticed such a huge difference in getting rid of the splits as they happen and those single strand knots. That just makes my detangling process a breeze overall, on top of using good quality products. After applying the conditioner, I did let it sit for about a minute before rinsing it out. So hear me out, when you're having a really good wash day, everything's going quick and smooth, don't you kind of feel like you're in a commercial? When I'm rinsing the conditioner out, it just feels so soft and my curls are popping and I just feel like, Now, when I know that I'm about to do a wash and go and style immediately after washing, I do gather all of my hair up into one clip so the water can kind of hang tight, because with wash and goes, I do generally get better results when I start on wet hair. As far as sectioning goes, I start off in 4 sections, but my hair is very densely packed with fine to medium strands. So I found that if I want my wash and goes to be more defined, working in smaller sections does help more. If I don't really care about definition, I want to kind of get it done fast, I can work in large sections, but the results won't be the same. Now I'm going in with the fragrance-free leave-in. I think it's important to note that I have low porosity hair, so I try to keep it very, very simple when it comes to layering products. Typically, I don't do a leave-in, but the reason why I use a leave-in with the Curlsmith gel is because it helps soften up the hold from the gel, because that gel is strong. And with the humidity already being here, it's what we need, but starting out with the leave-in just gives me touchably soft results while still being defined. The last product that I'm using in this lineup is, of course, the fragrance-free gel. And like I just said, this gel is strong. Don't let it fool you. Once you're finished styling, just let it dry. Trust me. And the hold is gonna do what it needs to do. Wash and goes are nothing new under the sun. You know, there's so many methods that people use when applying their products. Some people do the praying hands method. Some people do shingling. Some people do raking. I do a combination of all of them because I have so many different textures in my head. Take this front section that I'm working on right now, for instance. The front of my head is curly while the back of my head is coily. I don't hear people talk about this, but this just may be a theory of mine. First off, disclaimer, I do not hair type, but with what would be considered type 4 hair, I do think that there are waves in that category. I have so many sections of hair all over my head that have always been more of a wave than anything else, but it's a tighter texture, and I've always noticed it, but it wasn't really brought to my attention until I got my hair done by a stylist, and she affirmed it for me. I didn't have to say anything. She was like, yeah, there are some waves in here. And it just all made so much more sense to me. It's the main reason why I don't like hair typing, because I just feel like natural hair transcends a chart. There are too many unique traits person to person. Like, this is our genetic makeup we're talking about. You cannot categorize that into about a dozen letters and numbers. I'm telling you, just hair in general is so nuanced. But at the same time, it's simple. You don't need to know your hair type to have healthy hair. It's really about trial and error in figuring out what works for your hair. This has been 10 years in the making for me, which is why I use a combination of all the well-known methods to do my wash and goes and to style my hair in general, because there are different sections of hair on my one head all mixed in together that have different needs. And that's what I enjoy about Curlsmith products, because they have so many lines that are dedicated to catering to all of our hair's different and specific needs. Now that we're on the last section of my hair, here's a little recap. After spritzing my hair with some water just to dampen it up a little bit, it gets a bit dry after I've been styling for a while, and adding my leave-in conditioner, I go in with my gel and I do the shingling method and a mix of the raking method in the front. I typically do the praying hands method in the back section of my hair, since that section of my hair tends to get frizzy faster. And with the front of my hair, since it is more likely to tangle up, being that it's more curly than coily, I do use my brush quite often to get those tangles out, just to ensure that my results are smooth. And if you've used Curlsmith Shine products, the leave-in and gel from this fragrance-free line are the same formulas as the Shine line. It just has a new look. Once I finish styling my hair, what I usually do as far as my drying process goes is I'll sit under my hooded dryer for about an hour, and then I air dry the rest of the day. I style wash and goes early in the day so I don't have to go to sleep with wet hair. Taking that hour under the hooded dryer really speeds up the drying time, so it really doesn't take longer than the end of the day for my hair to dry, which is awesome for me because low porosity problems. And while it's drying, I try my best not to touch my hair so that my results look like this. My hair turned out so well, and this wash and go is gonna last me about a week. I could go longer, but again, I'm on a length retention journey, so I'm trying to take better care of my hair. I'm gonna leave all the information about these Curlsmith products down in the description box below. I truly hope you all enjoyed this video and hanging out with me for this wash day. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.